Today, we will recognize the 2023 USAACE Best Squad, Non-Commissioned Officer, Soldier, Drill Sergeant, and AMCOM Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year. These competitors representing their organizations began their journey over the course of several months, sharpening their skills and preparing for some of the most physically and mentally demanding events in extreme weather conditions. The USAACE competition kicked off on Sunday with 20 competitors from AMCOM and USAACE and continued over a 4-day period across Fort Novosel and Eglin Air Force Base. These events included Army Combat Fitness Test, weapons qualifications, grenade range, day and night land navigation, swimming, 6-mile fort march, obstacle course, and board appearance. The USAACE winners will compete in the upcoming training and doctrine competition in August, and the AMCOM winners will compete in next week's Army Material Command competition. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our host for today's ceremony, Command Sergeant Major Kirk R. Coley, United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence, and Fort Novosel, Command Sergeant Major.
Thank you all for coming out and helping us celebrate and recognize these warriors who competed over the last couple of weeks, and in some cases months, as they've had to make multiple training and preparation to get to this point. So it's an honor for us to be able to do this. It's an honor to have you all attending here today to help us do that. So the Army has a rich history of competition, and there's lots of reasons behind why we compete. You know, it's to build pride, spirit of corps, to help, build a culture of friendly competition, to help fight, win, identify highly trained, disciplined, and physically fit soldiers. And that's, what we recognize this week behind all these competitions that we held here at the USAACE level. So, at first, there was so last year was the first year that the Army did Best Squad competition. Prior to that, it was a Best NCO, Best Soldier competition. So last year was the first competition where the Chief of Staff and the SMA basically said, hey, we need to emphasize the squad and the importance of the squad across our Army. And at first there was some resistance behind the change because a lot of people were reluctant to change. But I'll tell you what we've seen demonstrated between this year's competition and how these soldiers came together across all the units. We started off with a squad of 20 soldiers. And as they go throughout the competition, we've seen tremendous improvement, working together as a team, understanding each other, knowing each other, and being able to help each other pull along, each other throughout the competition. So it's great to see that the Army made this transition, and everyone should understand the reason behind it is that, it's awesome to identify an individual soldier, strengths and weaknesses, but the unity of a squad, can win battles, win wars, if we get that right. So we're honored to do this this year's competition. We'll go ahead and drive on with the recognition of our awardees, because we've got quite a few of them to kind of recognize this morning. Again, thank you for attending. Thanks.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the drill sergeants who competed for this year's Drill Sergeant of the Year. Drill Sergeant Minahan, 128th Aviation Brigade. Senior Drill Sergeant Wicke, 1st Aviation Brigade. The 2023 USAACE Drill Sergeant of the Year is, drumroll please, Staff Sergeant Minahan, 128th Aviation Brigade. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the soldiers and NCOs who competed for this year's USAACE Best Squad competition. Representing the 110th Aviation Brigade Squad is Sergeant First Class Salguero, Sergeant Beebe, Sergeant Abreu, Specialist Hosfield, Private First Class Cordy. Representing the 1st Aviation Brigade Squad is Staff Sergeant Martinez, Sergeant Villegas, Private First Class Melendez, Private First Class Adams, and Private First Class Hoff. Representing the 164th Hayok Squad is Staff Sergeant Garris, Sergeant Clark, Specialist Lopez, Specialist Rivera, Specialist Sanders. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence Best Squad winner for the year 2023 is, drumroll please, 1st Aviation Brigade Squad. The USAACE Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year for 2023 is, drumroll please, Staff Sergeant Martinez, 1st Aviation Brigade. The USAACE Soldier of the Year for 2023 is, drumroll, Private First Class Adams, 1st Aviation Brigade. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the non-commissioned officers who competed for this year's AMCOM NCO of the Year. Staff Sergeant Snyder, Aviation Center Logistics Command. Sergeant Downing, Letterkenny Army Depot. Sergeant Iglesias, Corpus Christi Army Depot. The AMCOM non-commissioned officer of this year for 2023 is Staff Sergeant Snyder, Aviation Center Logistics Command. At this time, Command Sergeant Major Coley, Command Sergeant Major Smith, and Chief Warrant Officer 5, Corsoro, will now conduct the awards presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated for the reading of the citation. Attention to orders. Attention orders. The Army Commendation Medal is presented to AMCOM Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year, Staff Sergeant Snyder. USAACE Drill Sergeant, Staff Sergeant Drill Sergeant, Minahan. AMCOM, Non-Commissioned Officer, Staff Sergeant Snyder. USAACE, Best Squad, Non-Commissioned Officer, Staff Sergeant Martinez. USAACE, Best Squad, Sergeant Villegas. USAACE, Best Squad, Private First Class Melendez.
Sorry, we have a defective award here.
USAACE, Best Squad, Private First Class Hoff. USAACE, Best Squad, Soldier of the Year, Private First Class Adams. For meritorious achievement and selection as the United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence, Drill Sergeant, Best Squad, Non-Commissioned Officer, and Soldier of the Year for 2023. Their outstanding duty performance has earned the respect and admiration of all with whom they served, and their accomplishments truly reflect great credit upon them. The United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence and the United States Army. Signed, Major General Michael C. McCurry, United States Army Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in another round of applause for the United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence and Aviation of Missile Command, Drill Sergeant. Best Squad, Non-Commissioned Officer, and Soldier of the Year for 2023. Please stand, remain standing, and join us in singing Above the Best and the Army Song.
We are Army Aviation, USA, proud and strong, we contest. Skies are filled with thunder, wear silver wings upon our chest. We meet the needs of ground command as we aid the nation's quest. Army Aviation, flying high above the best. March along, sing our song, we're the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. Then it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the cadence loud and strong. For wherever you go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. We thank you for your attendance and invite you to come forward to graduate the winners above the best.